Hi, it's T from Typewronger. I'm in the studio today and I'd like to show you how to make A5 booklets. They're not quite A5 and you'll be finding out why that is in a moment. We will do this for you if you're wanting to order printed booklets from the shop. We can riser print them for you and we can bind them in one of three ways. The choice is yours. The standard way of doing it is this one, a couple of staples, but we can also sew your book together. This has been sewn together with thread. It's very simple, 3 holes sewn together, a bit nicer, although time consuming. And this one, the rubber band bind, which is my favourite. Now you'll notice that these are all the same thing that I'm making today. These are just little silly booklets that we sell in the shop. They say wrong ideas on them. They're simple little notebooks, you can sketch in them, what have you. The real advantage to getting one with a rubber band though, is you can take the rubber band off. You can remove sheets. You can literally take a leaf out of my book. So this is a good option for some people if you want to be able to do that. Or you can also put leaves in. But remember, you'll have to trim them because these aren't quite A5. So here we go. So first up, we've got to fold the different parts. So we've got the cover, which is folded there. And then we've got lots of A3. We buy our paper as A3 paper because that's what our risograph machine takes, and then we can crop it down smaller. So the first technique is very simple. We have the cover, and then we have 3 pieces of A3 that have been folded. So do them all with a fold at the top, say. Pop them in so that they're all in together, and then extra long stapler, and just pop a couple of staples on the spine, and that will hold the book together. But you'll notice a few things. First of all, this top edge is all folded, which is not much use as a book. And then this, the foredge here, there's this like white bit sticking out. That is called creep. And it's because paper has a thickness. So you see it's all the thickness here is reflected on the edge here. So that's creep. So we're going to go and take these over to the guillotine and chop that off. It's kind of terrifying now. Our guillotine is called Murray because I'm hilarious. You can't see it, but there's a special button that I have to release before I pull this down. This is a very important safety feature of a big old book guillotine to prevent you, chopping things off you shouldn't. And here's the finished product. So, as you can see, no creep. All the pages open up, simple booklet. Now, on to the next one. So for the next type, we need one of these. This is an awl. It's basically just a hooky, stabby thing. And we will also need a needle and thread. So let's get on with it. We take the pages. Again, still hasn't been cut, hasn't been cropped. And I'm gonna move the camera a bit. Sorry about that. I was getting this ridiculously long ruler that we have. It's actually so long it is not useful. Anyway, we pop the ruler onto the page like this so that we can see roughly where we are, and we're wanting to get an idea of like where the middle is, and we want to stab a hole right through the booklet in the middle, and then I would say about 5 centimeters either side. So a lot of the time people think that you can just sew merrily away. No, you've got to make the holes first. Now this thread is the other thing that's slightly special. It is a waxed thread specifically for book binding. You don't need to use a waxed thread, but it will make your life a hell of a lot easier because it grips the paper, which means that it's just much tighter really when you pull it in. it's not going to come undone and it's not going to give you a loose bind. So you start by going in the back of the book and you're doing one big loop over to the top, like that, and then you go through the middle, provided you haven't got your pages misaligned. There we are, through the middle and round one side, and then you see when I pull this, it is tight. It does not, it does not budge. And that is because the thread has been waxed. So you then thread the needle onto that one, and again, similarly, pop through the hole. Oh. This time on the other side of the thread, and give a little pull, and that will just tighten everything up. And then tie a simple knot. Doesn't need to be much, just a little double knot like you would for anything. And then you can trim it down. It's okay to leave a couple of little bits there. That looks quite the thing, you see. Now, at this stage, again, this needs to be cropped to make it all line up. And when you've done that, it's kind of, here's one I made. Oh, there, see? Now, the rubber band book. This one's a bit different. So what I've just done is I took this over and guillotined it before binding it, because obviously the rubber band goes right around and you don't want it to, get chopped, which it would do. So when you have the rubber bands, you give them a wee stretch first, just to, make sure that they're not too, sort of grippy. You don't want it like crumpling up the page. And you want to choose one that is an appropriate size. So this one's a little bit smaller than the zine, but not hugely. And you can just pop it across like that. And there we are, rubber band, thread, and staple. I just made a bunch of notebooks. Well, hey. Now, it hasn't escaped my attention that most people don't have A3 paper at home, because most people aren't running stuff through Riso machines. They're normally using their own home printer, which will normally be A4. If you wanted to make an A5 booklet that was really A5, you could just fold up pieces of A4 and bind with a rubber band. That's rubber band like this. That's a cool thing. You will, of course, have the problem with creep. Remember the edges? But, you can just try and palm that off as an aesthetic, choice, really. I think that would be fine. That would be cool. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. If you want us to do the binding for you, then, you can just select that when you're ordering your booklets. And, get in touch.